going to be doing a digital analysis today at 75 Ajax Road, Rochester, New York, above the mechanic shop for Hertz. I'm with Roofing Rochester, and I'm going to do this in one shot, this video here on the inside and outside, just to make it so there's no cuts here. I just want to see inside here. I'm sure you've seen photos already of what's going on, but we've had leaks going on for the past few years. We have leaks above this section here where the computer is, here, and we have another one there, and actually another one here. So there's a few pinholes that are leaking. There's this pretty bad leak here overall, but you can actually see the insulation that's underneath the roofing, the streaking, telling me that this water is not only coming from these areas but also traveling down here. And if we come over here on this side of the building, more leaks above this area as well, running down the I-beam. We had a pretty bad leak here at one point, I was told, too. It's obviously ripped through the insulation. Can't go back here, but just based off the look of the insulation, it's leaking there. The point here, we've got a lot of leaks on this building, and when we get on the roof, you will notice that there's not much we can do to try to just patch these at the condition that it's in currently. So let's make our way around. Now, that doesn't mean we necessarily need to rip this roof off. I do have a few solutions in mind to take care of this stuff. However, if we're looking for just some sort of temporary remedy, it's not going to work at this point because of the amount of rust that is now built up on this roof. As soon as we get up here, you can actually see on the bottom edge of the roof that the rust is starting to form here on the tin. I believe this is a tin roof. I'm not 100% positive. It's either steel or tin, but it's rusting, and when it's rusted, there's not much that will actually stick and adhere to this anymore. You can actually see, I bet this was starting to rust before they put this coating on, and that's why the areas where it's rusted, the coating's starting to fall off because it can't adhere anymore. The amount of work you'd have to do to sand this down, prime it, and actually make something stick to it, it's gonna cost you tons and tons of money as opposed to doing it right and getting the whole building squared away, just because the amount of rust you're going to notice on this roof. So again, bottom edge is the worst. You're going to be careful here with the ice. So essentially the leaks that we have are in this area, and then down here too are the main leaks of concern because they're above like office spaces or computers. And what's going on here is these rust spots are actually, when ice and water runs over them, it's allowing water to just enter and get underneath this coating that they put on the roof. The coating's fine initially, but again, when it starts to peel off like this and water can actually infiltrate behind it, now it's actually damming and it's got nowhere else to go. And if it gets weak enough, I mean, this stuff, it's just gonna go right through. You can see ice building up here. Just move this out of the way. I mean, water's been getting into here now. All these seams, when ice builds up into those seams, it's not good news here. And actually, over on this side of the roof, they attempted to like tape the seams, but the seam of the tape is in the direction of where the water is flowing, so it's not much help, because now you can see here when we push on this, water's pushing out of this seam here, water's just running into this seam. So at this point, like I said, we can't do much in terms of like coating this again because of the amount of rust that's on it. We don't necessarily need to tear this entire thing off. We can actually go over it, putting foam board insulation that is the same corrugation as these metal panels, so it would slide in between every single panel, level it out. Then we put another layer of foam insulation on top of that, and then we put our flat roofing membrane. I would prefer to use TPO, PVC, something of that nature that's white, reflective. It's going to help. I understand it's just a mechanic shop, but it's also a really good product. Everything's welded, and it's going to ensure the roof's going to last easily another 30 years without issue. I mean, it's just like you can't do much when the rust is getting this bad. And you can see it's all over the place. So on this side of the roof as well, another pretty bad spot here. So we're gonna put together a game plan, get this building squared away for you, and that way all these leaks will get mitigated and we won't have any more issues moving forward.